Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to understand the Leetcode problem number 1732. It's saying the find the highest altitude, right? So the question says that there is a biker going on the road trip. The road trip consists of n plus 1 points at different altitudes. So the biker starts his trip on 0 point, right? And with the high altitude 0 means its trip start from the 0 and altitude is also high, right? And that is 0. So you are given an integer array gain of n, where the gain at I is the net gain in altitude, where uh, you have 2 points between I and I plus 1. Okay, so basically it is saying that the biker is starting the trip, and the very first trip that he starts is from point 0, and its altitude is 0. Okay, so let's understand through the example so you will understand. Let's go with example 2. It's a very good example. Okay, so example 2, it is saying that we have given this gain. Okay, now as we know that the very first trip will start from 0. Okay, so let's say that it is the starting point from 0. So from 0 to the next point, right, that is giving you -4. So it is already 0, right? And if you come to here, right, at this point, you will get -4. So from 0 plus -4 is -4. Then you go to the next point, that is -3, but you have previous is -4. So -4 and 7, -4 and -3 become 7. Okay, similarly you will get to next point -2. So minus previous was -7, now you added -9, right? Because -2 you have added there. Similarly the next point you have is -1, so you will add one more point, so it become what? -10. So again you will get the next point, right, as a biker. So you will get the 4. So -10 plus 4 is -6. Then again you will add 3, you will get -6 plus 3 is -3, and in the last you will add 2. So -3 plus 2 is -1. But you haven't seen the thing that what is the highest point. Highest point, if you see here, we are getting the altitude is 0. So you have to add the value as a 0. Highest point is 0. So how will you do that? Okay, so let's try to understand. So you will clearly understand here. Okay, I'll show you the code. So very first thing that let's define the max altitude, right? And it start from math dot you can say integer dot mean value. So it is negative infinity, we can say that, right? And I'll take a sum. You can take any variables. I just do the same sum, so I'll keep adding all those values, right? Then this is the gain. Over the gain will make a loop, right? And what we will do, we'll keep adding all the gains, because the very first gain start from the 0, right? So we know that at index 0 we have seen that if it's still it is 0, it's fine, no problem, right? So we'll keep adding the gain over the sum, right? And if we find that the sum is greater than the max altitude, means we are getting some positive values, right, we will update the max altitude, right, like this. Otherwise it will keep going with the same value for the sum if it is coming less than, right? At the return time we'll say, okay, if the max altitude is greater than 0, we'll return max altitude, otherwise 0, because we don't want the negative value, because our max altitude start from negative, right? So if you want the max altitude, you can put directly 0 also, so you don't need to add here. But in my case, I am using the from the negative value, so I can update the max altitude, right? So in this case, you just check if max altitude is greater than 0, right? You will return the max altitude, otherwise return 0. So you will get always at least 0 as a output. So because if you see here, right, if you see here, what we are getting the result, we are getting all are in the negative, right? But 0 is the max altitude, right? So that is why the highest altitude we are getting was 0. So like that you can use this, and like that you can use this as a code, and definitely it will help you to understand why we are using this. Okay, otherwise you start from the 0 and it's fine. Still, if you doubt, guys, let me know in the comment section and we can go from there. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and let us know what you want to learn next in the comment below. And thank you for watching this video.